Hey everyone, welcome back, and today let's solve Leetcode problem 2490 titled Circular Sentence, the daily Leetcode challenge problem for today. So a sentence is a list of words that are separated by a single space with no leading or trailing spaces. For example, hello world, hello in all caps, and hello world are all sentences. Words consist of only uppercase and lowercase English letters, and upper and lowercase English letters are considered to be different. So a sentence is circular if the last character of a word is equal to the first character of the next word, and the last character of the last word is equal to the first character of the first word. So I'm not going to get into all of these examples here. Feel free to read it yourselves and pause the video if you want to kind of understand all of these examples. But we're given a string sentence, and we have to return true if it is circular. Otherwise, we want to return false. Okay. So in example 1, we have the input string sentence to be Leetcode exercises sound delightful. Why do we return true here? Why is this a circular sentence? Let's analyze it. First of all, the first character of the first word, L, is equal to the last character of the last word, which is also a lowercase l. Now, E, the last character of this word, is equal to E, or rather lowercase e, the first character of the next word. And S, the last character of this current word, is equal to lowercase s, the first character of this second word. And D is equal, using that same logic, to lowercase d. And so since it meets all of these requirements, we'd output true. In example 2, we have the input string sentence to be eat code. This is still a circular sentence. Why? E is equal to E. That's the last and first characters of this input string. And we really only have one word, so there's no next word to really check the first letter of. And so this is a circular sentence, of course, because it only has one word. And finally, in example 3, this is of course not a circular sentence at all. Capital L isn't even equal to lowercase l. E isn't equal to I, and neither is S equal to C. This is completely off. This sentence is not circular in any way or form. Okay, so with that out of the way, I will give you guys a few seconds to kind of just go over this problem in your head and to think of a valid solution, and then I'll show you guys how I would optimally solve this problem in a few seconds. See if this makes it a little bit better. Okay, I'll still keep it like this. Okay, anyways. So how do we want to approach this? So I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like iterating through strings and getting indexes of next words like that. I feel like lists and or arrays are a lot better for such operations. And so I'm just going to convert this to a list of all of these different strings as separate elements. How do I do that? There's actually a very nice feature in Python called the split method. So I'm going to set s and reassign it to be s.split. So what does s.split do? What are we doing when we do split? We simply have to look for every single white space, and every single character or word that's separated by a white space in a string is going to be concatenated as a separate element in a list of all of these different words. So to better visualize this, I'm just going to print out S right now to show you guys how we actually modify it. And obviously it wouldn't be accepted, but if I were to submit this right now, as you can see, we get a list of all of these different separate strings of words rather than just one concatenated or joined word or string as a whole, to make it a little bit easier to really iterate through and check if it's actually circular accurately and efficiently or not. Okay, so once we've done that, now let's simply iterate through the input regularly. So I'm going to say for I in the range of the length of S, and note that again we reassigned S to be a list of all the separate words as separate strings individually as separate elements in this iterable. So for I in the range of the length of S. Now, we can basically boil this problem down into two separate cases. First, is the last character of the current word equal to the first character of this next word? And our second case is the last character of the last word equal to the first character of the first word? That's kind of a fixed conditional here. That's pretty straightforward. It's constant. We can check that after. Let's first deal with this first case, or this first conditional here. So as we're looping through all the different words, if the current element at index I at the most recent element, or the last element in this word, so -1, if that's not equal to S at the next element, or index I plus 1, write the word after it, at 0, the first element in that next word, the 0th character. If that's not the case, we want to return false immediately, because for any iteration where we encounter this conditional, that means it's not circular, because the last word, or the -1th element, in this ith word is not equal to the 0th or initial element in this I plus 1th or next word. And if that's not the case for any word as we iterate through the input string s, we have to return false immediately. But there is an error. So what if we have an index that goes out of range or that goes out of bounds? What if we're currently looking or iterating at the, well, last word here? The last word isn't going to have a next word. It simply is the last word in this sequence. There is no next word. So we have to iterate not until the last element, but until the second to last element, so we don't have a list or index that goes out of range. So I'm going to iterate through the up till the second to last element in this input string s that we converted to an array, so length of s minus 1. Sorry, I don't know why that happened. Length of s minus 1. And if we don't return false at any word in this range of the length of s minus 1, so for any word that passes or doesn't pass this first chunk of criteria, if we don't return false for any of these iterations, then we know that our input passes this first criteria. The last character of every single word is equal, or basically not equal, to the first character of its next word, or ith plus 1th word. And so if we don't return false here, we simply have to move on to the next case, which is the last character of the last word equal to the first character of the first word? Simple. We just need to return a Boolean statement if we haven't returned false already at s at 0 at 0, the 0th character or initial element in the 0th or initial word, if that's equal to s at -1, -1, which is the last element in the last word of this input string s. And so unless I made any syntax errors here, this should be accepted and this should work. Let's see how it goes. And as you can see, this is just about as efficient as you can get, and it is a linear time complexity for its runtime complexity, because of course this is a one-pass solution. We iterate over our input string s, or rather array, exactly once, so it's a big O of n solution. So if you guys enjoyed this solution and learned something new, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel, and without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.